Was there a big tidy up after snowshoe last week?
Yeah, it was a big cleanup. I made the bike almost ready after snowshoe, so no time for rest to sit down and all that. So yeah, it's just a double check now and working on suspension and wheels, and but the frame is pretty much good to go. So.
When you're putting a bike in and out of boxes and taking handlebars off all the time,
yes.
What little tricks do you do to make sure everything's set up correctly when you put a bike together?
So I make mark for like matchmakers and stuff, so it's always like the levers go back to the same spot. And make sure the bolts are tight and then not damaged and all that, because we just like you said, out of the box it's always like stem out, stem back on, and so check the bolts first and then make sure everything is tight and good to go. Normally it's always the same setup, always the same, so she feel like it's always the same bike during the season, even if we swap frames and stuff, so it feels like fresh all the time.
It's rebuild day. Just getting the old frames freshened up. They all had a pretty rough week last week, between the mud and pressure washing and all that kind of stuff. So it's just good to tear everything down, get all the, even if it's clean and good, like just get all the mud out of the nooks and crannies. And I have my drill here this week with like a spinning a Brillo pad. So like I can hit my frame instead of like scrubbing it by hand. I can hit it with the drill. It's pretty sick.
First time you've seen the bike, I guess, since race running snowshoe.
Yeah, correct. So last time it's race run, yeah, and they almost did good, but unfortunately he had a little crash. So yeah, happens. Racing.
So what's the plan for today then?
The plan is, so that bike was, really good for his last run, like race ready. So the bike was pretty good, but we had so much mud, so much mud washing. So I'm just checking all over again and making sure it's everything perfect. And because he had that little crash as well, so new underbar, new little thing, new brakes, and new few things just to get it perfect again for this week.
Why is the rear end off Dean's bike?
Because he's deciding whether to go 29 or 27.5. So he's doing track walk and he's going to come back. So I'm getting it ready. We've got the two different swing arms. One's for the mullet, one's for full 29. So just waiting now for him to get back to make a decision. So that's the mullet one. So you can see the difference there. The two different ones there. So this one drops down a little further than that one.
So this is the Giant Factory Off-Road Racing support vehicle for North America, or the big old truck and trailer. I believe that it was in its initial form, it hit the road in 2001 or 2002. So 20 years of going to bike races all over North America.
A lot of famous pros have been in and out of this truck, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Adam Craig, Jared Rando, Carl Decker, lots and lots and lots of people over the years. And lots of the European folks have come over and been able to pit out of here and brought that whole contingent along. We're lucky to have, I think over the years, it's been handed down to different caretakers and, new graphics and new equipment and lots of cool stereos and all that fun stuff in it.
So can you tell me what's going on with Jackson's bike this week?
Yeah, sure. So we've got a special custom paint job for him. So he's had a brand new bike entirely, custom designed from sort of cues that he gave the designers, and then they ran with it. So it's all Stevie Smith Memorial and the rock all painted into the frame. You just saw it earlier. We've had him for a few weeks, but he purposely didn't look at it. And he's just come over and seen it, and it was properly hyped. So yeah, a few little tweaks with like tie bolts that we've put in. But I imagine he'll be running this pretty thoroughly now through the season. He's stoked.
New bike, yeah. Home race, so they decided to paint a new bike for me. Got a couple things like for memorial to Stevie as well on there. and they actually painted the Steve Smith rock face from this track into the frame. I don't know how they did it, but looks pretty cool.